DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, this is going to be a geocaching vlog. I'm at the final, but I'm going to go backwards and show you what we had to go through. So the final is somewhere around here. Now to get to that final, you'll see. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so the geocaching adventure basically started off here. The theme was geology, and I'm just showing quickly. The fact is that the university here is having an anniversary, so somebody made up this geocache. We made several, and you got to go around the grounds of the university and find stones. Okay, well, first off, this was actually I think it was the second one, but it was the first one that I found. Now you see it's written Granit du Mont Blanc, Mont Blanc Granit, and so on. Well, basically the questions were of this style. What type of stone is this? Now I'd like to make you notice that there's he added a lot of little extra difficulties. First off, you've got to write things in German, which is no big deal because it's written on most of them in 2 languages. Except one of them, it was only in French, but you had to translate to German. Now, if that wasn't enough, after, you've got to take all the letters, so A is 1 up to Z is 26, and you've got to add them. Well, if it was only adding them, that wouldn't be so bad. But the German-speaking people here have what they call the Quersumme. Now, there's a whole bunch of Quersummes. Quersumme could be just adding things up and getting a total, or there's the einstellige Quersumme. The einstellige Quersumme means that you have to end up with one number. So let's say it was 26, it would be 2 plus 6 would be 8. That's the answer. And then there's a more complicated variant, which of course this guy used. Oh, by the way, there's a geocache on that little island, so to say. That was a tricky one to get, especially when people are around. So as I was getting there on the calculations, is that let's say something is AZ something. Well, A is 1. Z is 26. No. Z is 2 plus 6. 8. And you got to count things up like that. And if you get a total of, let's say, 92, 92 is 9 plus 2 is 11. That's too much. So it's going to be 1 plus 1. So 92 is equal to 2. So you can see the pleasures of going along and finding all the details. I'll be back in a bit. So we're coming up to another one of the stones. This one is what you call an erratic stone. It was brought over by the glaciers. Now the question was, which glacier basically pushed this stone here? So we go up here, and here's the sign. And look here, it's written in French, saying Bloc erratique, Glacier du Rhône. Well, the guy who made the geocache put how many, he put little lines so you knew if you had the right answer. Well, Glacier du Rhône has the same number of letters as the German variant. Rhônegletscher, Rhônegletscher. Same number of letters. But the infamous Quersumme gives another answer. Yeah. Okay. So let's go on, and I'll show you some of the other ones. And some of them were hidden pretty nicely. So you got to walk all around the grounds, and luckily he said which campus, because our university has more than one campus. So he said which one. So let's go on. Yeah, again. Okay. So we're coming up to one of the older parts of the university. As I was walking here, you see that stone over there? And there's a couple of them along here. I was wondering what those were. Those are gravestones. There's a couple gravestones here of professors that had themselves buried near their workplace. So you see, you're walking along, and then there's these stones. Like this one here. This one here was a trick one. It was from which city does it come? Bottom line. But if you didn't notice the name of the of the rock, you weren't going to be able to answer another question, which was, 2 of these stones are of the same type. Which ones? Little tricks like that. Here was one. Oh no, that was not one. I thought it was at first, because you see, you're going along with pictures. And the pictures of the stones were taken at another season. Yeah, this was one of them. And so on. So, there were a couple here, yeah. This one was. Here, the Flischsandstein. So, F is 6. L, if I'm wrong, is not. It's probably like 3 or something like that. Y, which is 25, will be 7, and so on. And you have to count these things. S, by the way, is 1, because S comes out to 10 if you calculate it, and 10 is 1 plus 0. There was this little one. And so moving on, it was just like this, you know, so you just kind of had to go along. Well, I won't bring you everywhere. But you just had to keep on walking and walking all around and find these hidden stones. Now I'm being observed by people who are wondering what the heck I'm doing. So you had to be observed. Yeah, people are really coming up close to me now. So I was observed. Am I going to stop saying that? Also, I was observed a lot when I was doing the geocache. But finally, I filled it out. And then the whole thing is that which was the quersumme for this. And I almost think that these people are doing the geocache. Let me go and ask. Maybe they are. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Êtes-vous en train de faire le geocache? Moi, je suis en train de faire une vidéo parce que je viens de le finir.
Ah ouais?
Alors, je vous donne je vous parle à 2 secondes. Okay, so finally, I had to. Je vous laisse faire. Je reviens vers vous après. Finally, after doing all the calculations here, if you can see it, it says final. That's funny. Meeting other geocaches is always a good time. I'll get back to them after. But it was like final is 46. 47D minus 2 times C, and so on and so on and so on. And you had to calculate. The whole trick to all of this was not so much finding the stones, but knowing how to do the quersumme. Yeah. And, well, I sent my answers off to the owner. I said, listen, 2 things. One is in German. Should I use the German variant, even though it's written in French? He said yes. And the second thing I says, how do I do the quersumme? There's a whole bunch of variants. He didn't tell me. So finally I did it myself and I got it. So, yay! And that was the first video of this, so there'll be DC signing off on this geocaching geology series. Take care. Bye.